This is the morning of from the night before, um, and boy, I'm pretty sure the stewards are in for a busy time this morning at MRC. But we shall crack on with this is race one of Pro 2 of the Pro 2 League. Um, Even before I'll be honest, this is gonna be really hard to commentate on because um, I'm quite cross about what the game did to me. And we'll get to that in a second because in qualifying we had Woodhays here. These are all new drivers. So half the field is new drivers to me, so it's be interesting to see how they are during the season. But in first place from the qualifying it was Woodhays in first. He's in an Alpha and he's on Audi, and he's in Racing Supersofts. Now in second place on the front row of the grid should have been me, but I didn't realise that you needed to be on the track after qualifying. I was actually in the pits, and you know you've waited 4 months for the season to start. If you want to have a laugh at how bad things can be for someone, I'm going to have a laugh about it now. You've waited 4 months. You've practiced and practiced at a track you really don't like. You get on the you qualify on the front row of the grid, and as the season starts, you do this at the back of the pack. Get ready for it. Get ready for it. You drive backwards. That's how my season began, at the back of the pack, driving backwards. So, oh dear. So, and it's really hard not to be really cross. But basically, as a berserker, the red rage mist descended over me, and I just found it really hard to concentrate and focus without being too angry or aggressive in the race. And we'll see how that continues for me. So I'm quite cross, but I'm quite happy how race 2 went. So as I've just said to the rest of the league, at the moment I'm feeling quite crappy. I'm cross and I'm happy, and I can't figure out which way to feel it at the moment. But anyway, enough about me from race 1. We'll go through the grid positions. I won't say qualifying because this isn't really how they qualified. Apart from Woodhays, Wood Tazy. I'm just going to call you Wood. He did qualify first. So here we go. We'll go through the field for the first time for season 12 of Pro 2. I'm just going to check on YouTube to make sure I can hear myself and that the audio is coming through. Yes, it is. There we go. Right, so here we go. In first place, Woodhays in an. Oh, shut up, me. Shut up, me. Shut up, me. There you go. That's better. Okay. In first place is Woodhays in an Audi on Racing Supersofts. Second place on the grid on Racing Mediums. That's interesting. Is Scrap Drifter 86. I'm going to have to learn people's names as well, you know, who's Wood and who's Scrap, because we've got 14 races to get through. So it'd be Wood and Scrap. In a Jag on Racing Mediums. Interesting choice of tyres there. Zafiro in a Megane on Racing Softs here in third. TC Idol in an Audi in fourth place, and he's on Racing Supersofts. Audis do chew through the tyres quite badly, so I'd be interested to know in the comments from everyone, as this circuit is in a sandy sort of area. Does the game recreate a really abrasive surface with the sand on the track to make the tyre wear higher than normal than it would be at other circuits? If you know if that happens or not, please put in the comments or when I post this on MRC, let me know, because I'm interested to know if the game is that clever regarding the sand there. So here we are, TC Idol in 4th place in an Audi, Sayer X in another Megane. Audi and Megane look like they're popular cars for this year. Sayer X quick driver, he's up into 5th. Total Rose Aaron in a Beamer. I was wondering if anyone's going to drive Beamers. And Aaron's here in a Beamer on Racing Supersofts. Craig Maximus in a Subaru here in 7th. McDaddy, good name, with interesting livery there, in 8th place in GTR. Skivet, the flying Belgian Scot, however you want to describe himself, in 9th in a Honda. Ruthless Villain in another Megane in 10th on Racing Supersofts. Alehead in a Jag, is that? Yeah, it looks like a Jag. In 11th place. Jason in a GTR in Racing Supersofts. Nice livery there. DC Motoring, that's a nice livery as well actually. DSC Motor Racing. DSC? We'll call it DSC. On Racing Softs in a GTR. The Hammer Games put us on backwards a little. I just can't quite see what it says at the bottom there. That's a shame. The Hammer Games in a Subaru, sponsored by Durex, on Racing Softs in 14th. Blackie, I believe also, he was in the pits as well, so he didn't qualify 15th. I think he was around about 8th, 9th, something like that when he qualified. In a Subaru on Racing Softs, back here in 15th. And yeah, the bus is back here in 16th place. So we'll start up the front, and I don't know a lot about what happened. Maybe go to TC Idol. I don't know a lot about what happened, if there's any instance for the beginning of this race. We're going to start with Woodhays, and I'll look back to see if I can see stuff going on. Can't see where the lights are. Oh, well, they're off anyway. So here we go. Season 12 for Pro 2 is underway, and already Drifter has got into the lead in his Jag, followed by Zafiro. Then Woodhays has gone into 3rd place. So is everyone getting through turns 1 and 2 nice and cleanly there by the Pro 2 boys. Lights blazing here as we in the evening sunshine of this horrible circuit, which everyone detests. There's one little mistake and you just put your wheels over the edge and you're off. So yeah, so far so good. Everyone's cleanly through. This is great driving by Pro 2. So this is the tricky top hill hairpin, which comes down the hill and turns into this off camber left here. On board with Craig Maximus, just seeing if anyone's off at the back. No, everyone's through. So Pro 2 has shown MRC how it's done with a whole complete lap with no offs at Willow Springs, and I missed it actually. Let's cover. How did Zafiro get into the lead? Of course, Zafiro got into the lead quicker than I thought. There he is. He's into turn. Zafiro got past Scrap into turn 2. It was already. So just quickly go forward because I don't want to go through that. So at the top of the hill, Zafiro and then McGann, who's sponsored by Amazon, Team Amazon, out in front. Coming downhill, that off camber left-hand turn, which pushes a lot of the heavier cars wide there, and they sound like drift sideways. Zafiro now coming down for this long left-hand turn, which tightens at the very end for a really sharp apex. It's a horrible circuit at the best of horrible turn at the best of times. Very nice and neat there. Just clips the inside, and everyone from Pro 2 is gonna make it. Yeah, even me is gonna make it. One lap with no one off. Here we go. Woodhays He's looking up the inside of Scrap, turning it into coming into turn 1. Is he going to get a run down? Yeah, the Audi had a poor start off the line. I do think the Audi suffer off the line quite badly, and he's lost 2 places because of it, as Wood. But he can't. That Jag is proving difficult to get past. He's looking up the inside here as Wood. Oh, there's some movement further back. I think Craig has just got past TC Idol. Both drifted wide at the top of the hill. It's just going to allow Zafiro to take. With these 2 battling here, it's just going to allow Zafiro to put away a little bit. Can Woodhays find a way past that Jag? The Jag's probably got good straight line speed, and I'm not sure how the Audi's going to fare against it. Coming up, here we go. This is a tricky place to overtake. You know, once. Oh, someone's off at the back of the field. Oh, Woodhays does an undercut. Scrap there, that was a brave move by Wood. Scrap gets it slightly wrong on the apex of the last corner, as just allowing Sarex to try and catch up to Jag, but the Renault suffers top end speed. In the meantime, Woodhays has got up to Zafiro, so now he's been released from. Oh, let's go back in. There's like 3-4 abreast here. So we've got TC Idol scrapping with Scrap, and Craig is trying to go around the outside in the WRX. Is he gonna make that stick? He is, you know. So Scrap has gone back from 2nd back to 5th. Oh, everyone's trying to keep out of everyone's way here. That's nice, clean driving here by the boys. So Zafiro out in front, trying to keep ahead of Woodhays and the charging Audi. Sarex is now up into 3rd place. Craig is into 4th. Scraps dropped back to 5th. TC Idol 6th. Totoro's 7th. McDaddy 8th. Ruthless Villain 9th. Alehead 10th. DSC Motor in 11th. Skivett 12th. Blackie 13th. The Hammer Games 14th. Me, the bus, at this point thinking about giving up 15th, and Jason's obviously had an incident back here in 16th. So we go back to the lead, and Woodhays is going to undercut. Yeah, the power of the Audi's got the straight line speed to get past McGann, but the grip of the McGann is holding it through turn 1. Zafiro, is he going to be brave? He's not. He's thought about going up the inside there of Woodhays, but they're still side by side, wheel to wheel. 5 minutes in, who's going to get the Audi's got the inside line here, going up the hill. So Zafiro's dropped back to 2nd place. In the meantime, Sarex has got up to 3rd, but he's got Craig all over the back of him. So there's still Linus Stern after this is now lap 4. TC Idol's in the mix still. Scrap has dropped back to 6th, but he's within sight of all of the boys in front. Totoro's the pre-race favourite for this league, is cruising back here in 7th. Hopefully he can pick some place up. Then there's a little bit of a gap between himself and McDaddy, but we'll stick with this group up front. So everyone's still quite clean here at Willow Springs. None of the league group have managed to bin it at all. So Woodhays now still can't shake off Zafiro. Zafiro's going to try. Is he going to try at turn 2 to undercut that Audi? The McGann's got superior grip. We know that for sure. But Woodhays is blocking that route. But the Audi's drifting wide a little bit there. Drifting wide, but not far enough. Zafiro, the Dutchman, can smell the exhaust fumes. Oh, someone's off. Let's go back. Someone has come off back here. Let's have a look, see if we can pick up who it is. Someone's got it wrong. Back here. Yeah, here we go. Back further then. Oh, Rufus Villain's drifted far too wide, and he's pulled Skivett off the track with him. Oh, Blackie's got it wrong as well. So 3 drivers all decided to go agricultural. For some reason, Skivett's lost it big time. Oh, and Skivett almost took DC Motoring off as well as they came round, and everyone then streaming past, but I'm still so far behind. I'm not even in the picture. In the meantime, back up front, excuse me, Woodhays is still fighting off Zafiro, who's got a McGann up his tailpipes as well as Sayarex. And Craig Maximus is just quietly getting it done. So let's start having a look at people's tyre wear to see if anything's really starting to show you. So yeah, the Audi of Woodhays. Let's go back. What happened there? Did Woodhays touch the white line? I was just looking at his tyre wear. I wasn't really watching what he was doing then. So he was coming around here, this last turn. Did he just miss his braking point? He's just gone straight off himself. Woodhays just gone straight off. Zafiro can't quite figure out what's going on or why that's happened. So that's going to allow Sayarex to get a slingshot now on Zafiro coming down the start-finish straight. But Craig Maximus in the Subaru is going to get both Sayarex and Zafiro into turn one. It's gone from 4th place, I think it was, up to 1st in the space of 2 corners. Oh, a little nudge there for who was that? Sayarex gave a little nudge onto Zafiro, but not enough to put them off. This is great battles up front. So while we're watching this, I need to have a quick refreshment coffee drink, sponsored by Audi Coffee, the best coffee, budget coffee money can buy. Because this is great racing from the Pro 2 League up front. Line astern on a really horrible circuit. Scrap still holding on. Oh, he's racing mediums. I forgot about that. Is Scrap playing an absolute blinder here? He's 5th place on racing mediums. There's hardly any tyre wear on that Jag, yet he's still with the lead group. You know, he's probably only about 2 seconds from 1st place. Is he going for a no stopper? It's going to be interesting to keep an eye on Scrap, because he's making it work. He's still with that lead group here and being quite competitive. He just hasn't got the superior grip that the other cars have. In the meantime, Aaron's up to 5th place, 6th place. So Alehead's had an incident somewhere, but his front left there of that beam is starting to show some strain. But we are 8 minutes into the race. Anyway, in the meantime, the HKS sponsored Subaru of Craig Maximus is now in front, still holding off Zafiro. Zafiro basically had a car in front or behind for the entire race of 8.5 minutes so far. These McGanns, that you can see that they gain on that Subaru through the twisty sections. But then the power of the Subaru starts to pull away. Speaking of pulling away, there's now a bit of a gap between the first 3 drivers. Craig Maximus, Zafiro and Sayarex have pulled up a little bit of a gap now between them and TC Island in 4th place. I thought Zafiro's going wide there. Looking at the tyre wear of that Subaru's not too bad. So we go on board here with Zafiro. Oh, he's getting squeezed. He's getting squeezed by Craig, but Craig has just enough room. That reminded me. Oh, that was so tight, so tight. And that's just allowed Sayarex to get through. I was just going to say this. Look at this again. I was about to say this reminded me of Michael Schumacher squeezing Rubens Barrichello in that Formula 1, where he just gave him literally a car's length through, and Craig just cut the nose off Zafiro just a bit too much. But that's all fair, but a little bit rubbing, not really too bad. But that's just allowed Sayarex now to get through, and he's going to undercut Craig into 1st place. Let's say the part of the circuit where the McGann is strong as the that long turn 2. So Sayarex, I bet no one thought about putting him on your fantasy team, did you? I thought about it because I knew Sayarex is quick. But so Sayarex is now up into 1st place with Zafiro, who's also got past Craig Maximus. I did hear a bit of bumping. I'm not sure what that was all about. So I think these boys up front are all sort of jostling each other. It's just going to allow TC Idle here in 4th place to keep tabs on them. And Scrap Drifter on the racing medium in 5th is still there. And Aaron Totoro's He's catching his boys ever so slightly. So the whole group of 6 drivers are all starting to just squeeze together Concertina up. So about 10 minutes in, was Aaron going to make a move on Scrap Drifter here? I think he is, you know, just sizing him up. No, he thinks better of it. So let's quickly run through the field and see what kind of lap times they're all doing. It's difficult for the boys up front to put in good lap times when they're jostling for position. But now Cerex is out in front. Can he pull out a little bit of a gap between himself and Zafiro? So Cerex has done 1:17.5 after 8 laps. Not surprisingly, Zafiro has done pretty much equal sort of times, a 1:17.4. Oh, missed that. How did TC Idol get up to 3rd? What's happened here? Let's quickly go back. So we're on board with, here we go, TC Idol. There's Craig. Craig was in 3rd place, up there in 3rd place in Subaru. How did he lose that 3rd place to TC Idol? The Audi sort of... Oh, there we go. That's what's happened. Craig's drifted wide. Scrubbed off a lot of speeds, which just allowed TC Idol to get through. Okay, we'll go forward a few more corners now. So anyway, TC Idol's done a 17.5, pretty much identical to the cars in front. Craig starting to get a little bit scrappy in that Subaru. He's done a 17.6. 17.9 by scrap on racing mediums, remember everyone. Totoro's 17.6. McDaddy in 7th place has done 18.3. Alehead 18.2. The Hammer Games 18.4. Blackie 18.1. DSC Motoring 18.3. Beserker-Boy, the fastest lap so far, 17.3. Not surprising, he's got a bit between his teeth. Trying to catch the field in that Alpha after the... Well, you saw it. Skibbit 17.8. Woodhays, the pole sitter, has dropped all the way back now on the 17.1. No, that's actually the fastest lap time, 17.1. Rufus Villain, not sure how he's done that, but here he is, and he's done an 18.1 in 15th. Jason cruising around now and an 18.5 at the back. So back up front, we're approaching halfway. Cerex hasn't been able to shift Zafiro, but the two McGanns have started to pull out a bit of a gap now between themselves and TC Idol. Oh, there's a melee of drivers. Scrap's got up to 3rd place on racing mediums. Oh, this is interesting stuff here as they come down the hill. Racing medium Jag, probably going to go for a no stop, is now back up into the podium position. Craig has dropped back to 5th place, but he's fighting there for 4th. Let's go on board with Craig. Aaron, like the shark that he is just poaching behind this group, trying to find a way to just let these boys get... Oh, there was a little nudge there, and Craig's accidentally nudged TC Idol off. He's waiting for him. It's good stuff. Oh, McDaddy's come off to see wanted to join the agricultural party as well. McDaddy's going to go into the pits, but as you can see, you lose so much time if you get pushed off, especially at that last corner. So unfortunately, where is he? Craig's waiting, I think, for TC Idol, but that it's disaster there. That was only a slight little nudge, but it's caused so much controversy back there, which has just allowed Totoro's now to get up to 4th. Scrap Drifter on racing mediums. How's the grip doing? Still not too bad. Oh, I thought he was going to spin it up then. So that little instant there has changed the complexion of the race drastically, I have to say. To be honest, a group of 4 drivers so close, it looked a little bit like it might be inevitable. I hate to say it, but it was obviously just the tiniest steps. It wasn't anything particularly bad. It's just a racing incident, as far as I can see. In the meantime, oh, Zafiro's off. Zafiro's lost it big time there. Oh, not quite as bad as I thought. So let's have a look at that. He's trying to find a way past Sayarex, but just runs out of road. Could have gone straight into the pits because we're 14 minutes in. And, well, he should have gone into the pits, to be honest, because his tyres are down a quarter, and it probably would have been a good time for a pit stop. Surprised if he didn't take that opportunity. But the two McGann boys are out in front now. After lap 12, halfway through the race, 15 minutes gone. And they've got a bit of a gap now between them and Scrap Drifter. And Aaron's he's literally pretty much just cruised behind the lead group and waiting for people to fall off the circuit. But that beam is suffering on that front left. It's almost down to half on racing super softs, just about halfway through the race. So struggling a little bit for pace. As you can see by his lap times there, he's done a 19 and a 20. And then it's 18s across the board, so he's not the quickest. But he might just well pick up some places. So as we're halfway, I'm going to have another quick drink while we have some glory shots here of Aaron in 4th place. Oh, I can see someone's off. Someone is off big time. Who's off big time round here? Oh, it's Jason. Jason's taking agricultural routes, trying to come back on track. And here we go on board with Aaron as he comes into the pits. Yep, thought he'd be coming into the pits. Just pit crew there. Quick change. About 7 seconds he's lost, I reckon. In the meantime, somehow, I've got up to 8th place. I'm sizing up 7th place here. So I've got from last up to 8th so far. My lonely little Jack Daniels Alphas. Daddy keeps out of the way, I think, there for me. Now up to 7th place. Don't worry, I managed to cock out. I still managed to cock this up badly. I'm still angry. I'm still red mist is still over my eyes. I'm still managing to throw it away. Anyway, enough about me. Let's go up front. So Sayarex now pulled out a bit of a gap over the other McGann driver of Zafiro. See how the tyre is doing. He's on racing softs. Zafiro is also on racing softs, but Zafiro is suffering more on tyre wear. 17 minutes in. It's interesting to see if any of these boys. I know Scrap Drifter's probably not going to worry about it. It's Craig. Yep, here comes Craig Maximus into the pits from 5th place. Quickly out again. Hammer Games is into the pits from 6th place. This is just allowed me to get up to 7th. Oh, Stuart's fighting back, isn't he? Yeah, I think I managed to bin it around here shortly. Oh no, I get up the inside of McDaddy. Can I go around the outside of McDaddy? The GTR's power, I remember, got me down the start-finish straight. But can I hold it around the outside and get I'm back to 7th? Let's go on board with the bus, looking at 6th place. I haven't pitted yet. I'm sizing up the Hammer Games in 6th place. At this point I'm thinking, my goodness, if I can get the Hammer Games, I've gained 10 places. And the trouble I had with this race was I could see there's those drivers up in front, just up ahead in that, going around there, so I can see 5th place is up there, and I just was like going mental trying to catch up. Oh, we've got stuff happening up here. So Scrap Drifter loses it by himself. Yep, he's lost it by himself from 3rd place. This is disaster for Scrap Drifter. At the same time, Zafiro has gone into the pits. Sayarex on minimal tyre wear is now way out in front on his own. So that's just allowed Aaron on the fresh set of tyres to come out in 3rd place. Zafiro's managed to get them again through his pit crew, got him out in front of Aaron. So Aaron's really just cruising through the field. He's not done a lot of overtaking, but he's already up to third. And Craig is now back to fourth. Scraps gathered the Jag together to be in fifth place. The Hammer Games, who's made a pit stop, is in sixth. Beserker, the bus, who hasn't pitted yet, is close behind him in seventh place. Behind Berserker's TC Idol in 8th, but Daddy in 9th. Blackie, he's having a very quiet race with Blackie. He has pitted in Racing Softs, is in 10th. Alehead 11th. DSC Motor in 12th. Woods Hayes, the pole sitter, is back in 13th. Skivet is back in 14th. Ruthless Villain is in 15th, and Jason has retired. So, where is it? Oh, Zafiro's coming down straight here. There's Toro's thinking about second place. Craig, Scrap, the Hammer. Is this where I lose it? I managed to hold it here. Still haven't got past the Hammer Games, but I think I come into the pits. Yeah, here we come. Beserker-Boy into the pits. Berserker, aka the bus. So I lose my 7th place. Back out of the pits and back into 9th. So I think I do win. I'm going to be completely biased here. I think I at least win the best livery of the day. That Jack Daniels car looks absolutely resplendent in black and gold and white. Love it. Great job by my team. Thank you very much, Tosh. That was the guy who did it for me. Anyway, moving on. Zafiro. Oh, where's Cyrex? What's happened to Cyrex? Cyrex has had a disaster. Oh, here we go. Cyrex. He was way out in front. He's got about 4.5 second lead. Oh, he gets it wrong down that off-camber turn. It's a horrible, horrible circuit. And as you can see, one little off can lose you so much time. So Zafiro's up into first. Aaron, who's overtaken no one, is up into second. Cyrex gathering himself has got back to 4th place now. Getting up to speed. Looks like Scrap could catch him. So Craig has got back up into 3rd place. Craig, he has stopped racing Supersofts. 10 minutes to go. Goodness me, Aaron. I know you said you were lucky in this race. I can't believe how lucky you really are. You've overtaken no one, and you're up into 2nd place. I don't know whether that's great driving or just luck, but fair play to you, Aaron. 2nd place. In the meantime, Zafiro on a fresh set of tyres with 9 minutes to go. Can he hold it for Team Amazon in that Megane? Or is Aaron the pre-season favourite to win the championship of this league? Is in 2nd place by overtaking no one and just basically staying on the black stuff. Craig, he's had one off, I believe. He's managed to keep it up into 3rd. Cyrex must be kicking himself. He could have been in. He was way out in front by about 4 seconds, I reckon. 4th place. Scrap, who hasn't pitted. It looks like he's going to go for a no-stopper. Has managed to keep that Jag going into 5th place. The Hammer Games kept that Subaru, was quietly getting through the field, is in 6th. TCI was up high for a while, but just drifted back a little bit. He's got a bit of damage on the back of that Audi as well. Is 7th. Blackie here in 8th. He's had a very quiet race, but starting to make his way through the field. Berserker's back into 9th on a fresh set of tyres. Still angry about what happened at the beginning of the race, but the trouble. Oh, here we go. The trouble I had is I remember I'm 9th place. I can now see 3 spots ahead of me. I've got 8 minutes to go. I can catch these boys, and I could actually get a fairly decent result. And I just went hell-bent for leather, tried to do qualifying laps after qualifying laps. For example, can you see the lap I've just done? I've just done a 16.6. I was absolutely on the limit, on the edge, desperate to catch up, to try and get a really good result despite what happened in this race. And I think Blackie, Blackie, fair play, mate. I think you kind of like could see the steam coming out of the cockpit of my car. I was like, yeah, I did see your flashy lights. Cheers, buddy. Steam coming out of the cockpit of my car. Still angry. 23 minutes later, I'm still angry, and I'm looking at 7th and 6th place just in front of me, and I can see 5th and 4th just a bit further up the road. And I'm thinking, you know what? I could still maybe get a podium from this. But don't worry, folks. I still managed to cock it up a little bit later, thanks to that Scots-Belgian person taking out bollards at my braking point. But we'll get back to that. Ooh, they look like Craig. I thought I saw... Yeah, here we go. Scrap has got past Sayrex. Here we go, down the main straights of Sayrex. I think I've got a poor drive out the last turn that's just allowed the no stopping Jag. God, that is... Don't push it too much, Sayrex. Sayrex, you're going to have so much better grip. He's going to drift wide, Scrap short. Oh, Sayrex flashing his lights, get out of the way. Yeah, you see the Jag is going to drift wide. You've got superior grip. And Scrap flashes his lights back. Oh, that was great stuff. I do like that. So here we go. Sayrex is going to flash his... Well, Sayrex has flashed his lights at Scrap, and Scrap is going to flash his lights back. Great driving. Scrap is going to try and go around the outside of the Sayrex, and he does. Scrap, fantastic driving there by Scrap to get back up into 4th. But these two battling has just allowed the Hammer Games to catch them both up. So the Hammer's now into 6th. TCI is back up to 7th. And I'm in this situation thinking, oh my goodness, I can see 5th place. I am about 3 seconds behind 4th place even. I could manage to get... Could I get a podium? No, don't worry. I'll mess it up still. In the meantime, the Hammer is now looking to try and get Sayrex at the last slingshot. Sayrex is a little bit of lag there, unfortunately. The Hammer's trying... It's got a more straight line speed than the McGann. But in the meantime, TC Idol's now bothering the Hammer Games. Who's going to break first? Oh, as the Hammer Games let the Audi through. To see the grip tyre. So yeah, the Subaru had much better grip, I have to say. Because the TC Idol's front left is going. So there's 4th place up ahead. Sayrex is battling with Scrap Drifter. We get back to the lead bunch in a moment. So Sayrex trying to undercut the Jag, thinks better of it, but Sayrex now on racing softs is starting to lose grip. In the meantime, Scrap has still got fairly decent tyre wear. Oh, right, let's go back. So I can see an Audi off the circuit. I'm just going to pause it there because I need a drink before we go into this last section. Right, so here we go. 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, all line astern. Now I bailed out of that one because I was just getting a bit too close to the Hammer Games there. TC Idol drifts it wide, loses 2 places. So Beserker's now up to 7th. Now I think this is the spot. I'm coming around here looking for my braking bollard, and it's not there because I later find out that some Scots guy has taken all the bollards out, so I lost my braking spot, and that was my race. Back to 9th, and that's where I finished. In the meantime, these boys, Scrap Drifter is having a right old ding dong now with Sayrex. Sayrex is going to have the better grip on the inside of the turn 2 here, but also the Hammer Games can he get up the inside here at Scrap Drifter at turn 2? He's coming up to the back wheel. These boys still fighting. We've got 3 minutes to go. I don't remember how these boys finished this race. So So I just, right, there's a little bit of a gap now, so I just go through the field. So Zafiro's still up here in first place. He's on Racing Super Softs. Front tyre wear's looking good. He's got 2.5 minutes to go. He's pulled out a bit of a gap there between him and Aaron. Aaron just needs to be careful, ease that BMW round, because he's got no... He's starting to lose it! Oh, he's starting to lose it as I say it. He's lost it. The front left is gonna suffer as Craig got the drive to catch up. Craig just had the best sector time for him as well, the best lap time I think. So here we are on board Craig Maximus. He's got better tyre wear. Aaron is can't hold it. So Craig has got back up into second place. Maximus, Desmus, Meridius. What a manoeuvre, that going around the outside. So the Subaru's up into second place. Aaron is now going to have to be very, very gentle. Probably going to have to give up chasing Craig for seconds, because you see Craig's already pulling away. I wonder if Craig had enough time to think about getting up to first place. Doesn't look like he did, so Zafiro's still too far away. However, just one little off, and that could be curtains for it. So Sayarex, this is where the battle's happening. Sayarex, oh, my voice is still going. Sayarex desperately trying to hold off the harassment from the Hammer Games. The Subaru, if he can get a good line, would be able to slingshot that McGann. I think he's trying to go around the outside. He can slingshot underneath the Hammer Games, and you get a good drive down here. Yeah, that's what he's got. As you can see, he's got a good drive. He's going to get past Sayarex in the McGann. So the Hammer Games is up to fourth place. Who said the Subarus are rubbish at Willow Springs? Who said that? We've got a Subaru second and a Subaru now fourth. And I'm talking to you, VQS Dawson, who said the Subarus are rubbish in the MRC thread. No, they're not. Subarus is a great car, Scooby. So, here we go. Let's go on board with the race leader at the moment, and then we shall go through the field, because we have 15 seconds to go. And it always crossed the line, so he's going to have to do another lap. Craig. Oh no, he hasn't crossed the line. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong straight. So here we go. Zafiro's coming around the final lap. So Zafiro in the McGann is going to win race one as long as he keeps it together for this last turn, and he has. Well done, Zafiro. Great drive by Zafiro. Zafiro finishes first. Craig, Maximus, Desmus, Meridius, 84 second in the Scooby. Aaron, I've overtaken no one, has managed to finish third. The Hammer Games is going to keep it together into fourth place. Sayarex is going to finish sporting fifth. Let's just pause that. TC Idol came off right at the very end there. Has gone one, has lost 2 places for it. So that's allowed Blackie to be 6. Well, let's go back actually. Who's... Oh, Scrap Drifter finished 7th in the end, so Blackie caught up. Was there any contact here? No, TCI... Oh, there was contact. Oh, a little bit of controversy now. I do believe, I remember Mark saying he's going to give TC Idol the place back. I don't know if he's going to give him 2 places back, and he's going to drop down, but Mark finishes in 6th. Scrap Drifter, did he have a penalty there? Let's have a look at Scrap Drifter. It looked like someone had a little icon over the top of the head. We'll just forward it a bit further. Has he got a penalty here? No, he has. Oh no, it's Mark's got the penalty. So Scrap Drifter, actually no, there we go. So Scrap Drifter finished. that was a weird sequence, wasn't it? Scrap Drifter actually ghosted through Mark to finish 6th in the end. TC Idol would then finish 7th, and Blackie will finish 8th, if I've got that right. I think I've got that right. So there we go. Scrap Drifter at the very end gets 6th. TC Idle 7th, Blackie 8th, myself Beserker the bus 9th. I managed to keep it on and not lose it too much. 9th, Woodhays the pole sitter, disappointing 10th for him. I'm sure he would have wanted more, seeing as he was managed to qualify really well. He's finished 10th. Alehead is 11th. DSC Motoring 12th. Skibbit 13th. Ruthless Villain 14th. McDaddy 15th. And Jason, I'm not sure if he's going to be qualified for 16th either. So we just go back to DC Motoring to cross the line. Now, and there we have race 1 in the bag. Thank you for watching. I shall shortly do the Fuji race, but that's race 1 in the bag. Well done, Zafiro, for the win. Aaron, you lucky little... How on earth did you manage to finish 3rd by overtaking no one? And well done to Craig, was in the Subaru, 2nd. So, I'll see you all for race 2 coming up fairly shortly. See you later. Bye.